Sabah Far East Adventure Travel here in Kuching, Sarawak on the island of Borneo. And I'm going to try something a little bit different for this episode of Far East Adventure Travel for the podcast and for YouTube. Kind of just some random travel notes here. I've been in Kuching now for 2 or 3 days and getting a feel for things. I've had a chance to explore a little bit and get to know the city. And first off, I have to tell you, the people here are so friendly. Oh my God. I've been to Borneo before, but this is the first time I've been to Sarawak. And I cannot believe how friendly just general contact is with people. You're walking down the street and people just randomly say hello to you, or in the shopping mall. And we'll talk about the shopping mall in a little bit, because the shopping mall can be your friend here in Southeast Asia, particularly Borneo, and I'll tell you why. So this week's episode of Far East Adventure Travel, just a whole bunch of random stuff in Kuching, Sarawak. So first off, I'm in the old section, or old Chinatown section of Kuching, and it's very atmospheric, lots of these old shop houses around, but things are changing a little bit here, I believe, in that there's definitely kind of more of a, I hate to say it, kind of a hipster sort of cafe and bar and restaurant emergence happening here, which is cool. These are really fantastic places. I have to tell you, they've done a really good job here. The settings are great. They have wonderful selections of wines and beers, all the things that you're accustomed to if you're in the West. But just keep in mind that these places are typically going to be 2 or 3 times the price of just your average humble little restaurant or cafe here in Kuching. So just a forewarning. And I know as a traveler, it's really easy to fall into that trap of going for the comfort zone, finding the things that are familiar to you, but explore a little bit. That's what travel's all about, exploring, getting out of your comfort zone, trying some new things. So by all means, visit these places. They're very cool. These people that have put these cafes and restaurants and bars together have done an awesome job, but also explore, get out there and see the humbler spots and the little cafes, the little restaurants, the place that's run by one person. And you'll get a real feel for not only the food of Sarawak, but also the culture, the human contact that is so fulfilling when it comes to travel. Now, the other thing you have to keep in mind when you're walking around this old Chinatown section here in Kuching is that the streets are quite narrow. They have parking spaces on either side of the street, so you have to be very careful. But they have these wonderful overhangs here that are typical in this part of Asia, Southeast Asia, that protects you, especially during monsoon season, rainy season. And the last couple of days I've been here in Kuching, we have had some pretty heavy showers in the afternoon. So feel free to use these, and they do keep them fairly clear. But there's occasionally a spot where you'll have to veer out onto the road. But a lovely atmospheric place to just take your time wandering around. By the way, in case you missed it on one of my other videos, Kuching is known as Cat City. Kuching sounds like cat in Malay. So there's cat murals and cat statues everywhere. You're going to be seeing them all over my videos from Kuching, Sarawak. I'm outside the Plaza Merdeka shopping mall here in Kuching, Sarawak. Now, I know some of you travel aficionados are going to turn your nose up at the thought of visiting a shopping mall, especially on Borneo, you say. But the shopping mall can be your friend here, my friends, with temperatures above 30 Celsius and humidity levels at times over 90%, and I'm not exaggerating. Yesterday was 89, 90% humidity levels here. A blast of cool heat inside next to the Starbucks or H&M will be your friend for sure. Now, this shopping mall is kind of cool because there's multi-levels, plus there's a really neat grocery store on the bottom level with all kinds of local snacks, and you can do some self-catering as well while you're here and getting that blast of nice, welcoming air conditioning. There's all kinds of other places. Of course, you can go down to the river here, which I'll show you later in the podcast episode. But the shopping mall is your friend in Southeast Asia. I'm outside the Chong Cafe here in Kuching, Sarawak. It's just after 1 o'clock, and if I was wanting to try some of their world-famous laksa, I'm totally out of luck. So a little bit of advice for you: if you want to try some of the specialties of Kuching, Sarawak, and laksa, of course, is very well known here. Their famous laksa with coconut milk and sambal, and sometimes prawns and chicken, if you like. This particular place inside here serves one of the most famous and most delicious. But again, you got to get up early, so make sure you're out of bed early in the morning and arrive here before 11 or 11:30 if you want to try some of this delicious noodle soup. They call Kuching the Cat City or Cat City, and there's cat statues and murals everywhere. These ones are outside the Grand Margarita Hotel. Easy to find. The only reason why you're not seeing a lot of people doing selfies here right now is because it is absolutely blazing hot in the mid-afternoon here in Kuching. So we just had our afternoon tropical downpour here in Kuching, and I'm now down at Riverside after hanging out in a nice little cafe for about a half hour or so, let the rains die down, and it's really lovely down here. It's quiet, it's raining still a little bit, but very atmospheric, and just enjoying this nice riverside walk here in Kuching. I've crossed the Sarawak River here. River boat crossing is 1 ringgit. They are building a pedestrian bridge by the looks of it, but in the meantime you can still take the river crossing by boat. It's very cool and quick, like a minute, and you're here. So there's all kinds of interesting things to see around here. There's the old Kampong Boyan village, the State Assembly building, Astana, the governor's residence. So lots of cool things to see. It's raining, so it's kind of atmospheric as well. Let's have a look around. Are the famous layer cakes of Sarawak. I can't wait to try some of these. So I've wandered over to the State Legislative Assembly building here to have a look. This is just a sneak preview. I'll get some closer shots in a future podcast. And then to my right here is Fort Margarita. So thank you so much for watching on YouTube here. I am doing more YouTube live broadcasts now. So if you are not already subscribing to the channel, give the channel a subscribe, hit that button, and also turn on notifications so you can get live notifications. It's the bell, I think it's the top right corner, the last time I can remember. Just turn that notification bell on and then you'll get live notifications wherever I'm live around Asia. So I will bring you more content from here in Kuching, Sarawak, Borneo. Until next time, this is John Sabah, Terima kasih from Malaysian Borneo.